just over 6 weeks away now from the date of the Fury-Usyk fight, but we still get no confirmation of it. No confirmation of the venue, no outright confirmation of the fight itself. Now, Frank Warren didn't want to give too much away yesterday when he joined myself and Simon on the show. Frank, the UK promoter of Tyson Fury, he suggested that if there was no breakthrough in negotiations by the end of the week, the fight could well be off. So we get inside the Usyk camp and we spoke to Alexander Usyk's promoter, Alex Krassyuk, and we said to him, where is this thing?
It's my pleasure talking to you again. So as Frank Warren mentioned, he said he's got a pot and he needs to get the agreement of both parties to participate. And if money in the pot is not enough, that it won't happen. And I completely agree with it. On our side, we have nothing more to add. We are not asking for a figure, we are asking for the split. And probably the split doesn't work well if someone is asking for a figure. And I can definitely state that it's not our party. We are fair, we want this fight to happen as much as possible, and we are in the position to share whatever the fight generates. If it generates a lot, then we are happy to share it. If it doesn't, well, it is what it is. But it's all about the glory. It's all about the legacy. It's all about the huge thing, the fight that never happened before. So we are really thirsty to make it happen. But boxing is a sport of two men. And if only Usyk gets into the ring, there won't be a match for the undisputed. It will be a shadow boxing of the unified champion. So what can I say? We are open. We are ready to go. Maybe someone wants to avoid the danger and to stay in a comfortable position. I don't know. And we really don't care. If Tyson doesn't show up, okay, so we still have the belt and we go our way.
But this is key to this discussion, Alex. What split do you want? Do you want 50-50?
Yeah, we initially agreed for 50-50, but then we made it clear. So Tyson was asking for some bigger money, so we made it clear that we are ready to go 60-40, but the winner takes 60. So that was our latest offer.
But Tyson's turned that down?
Yes.
Alex,
exactly.
You've been in this business a long time. You're very experienced. Is this fight going to happen?
Well, I am experienced and I've been here for a while. And normally when a fighter does not want to take a fight, he asks for something impossible, so it doesn't take place. On the other side, I'm really optimistic. I'm optimistic, and maybe Tyson is not ready yet. Maybe he's not ready mentally, maybe he's not ready physically, whatever. I don't know. And we don't really care. We want to make it happen. If he doesn't want, we can't make him want it. So what can I say? The fight should happen someday.
Alex, finally, if it's not Tyson Fury that Alexander is going to fight, who's next for him?
Yeah, you know, Alexander is the unified champ. He must go for the mandatories.
So that was Alex Krassyuk, the Usyk's promoter. Simon, what do you take out of that? He seems to put the onus on the Fury camp big time there. 60-40, the split. The winner taking 60, but Tyson turned that down.
Well, I'm inclined to believe that version of events. We've not had a version of events from Frank to say that there's anything different. We clearly understand that it's about splits. We knew that yesterday. And I'm not entirely sure that what they're suggesting is inappropriate. The problem is you've got a matter of principle now coming into play. There's two principles. You've got this inflated idea that everything should be paid at hundreds of millions of pounds because the Saudis are coming to the party. And when they're not coming to the party, everyone gets a different sort of look on their face because they realise that the actual levels of remuneration are slightly different. Because the Saudis will pay ridiculous amount, or the Middle Easterns will pay ridiculous amounts of money for facility fees. And what you get in the UK or in the US is you'll get huge viewing figures in terms of attendances coming into stadiums. You'll get significant pay-per-views, but you won't get the big facility fees. So someone's got to reset these fighters' minds about what they're entitled to out of fights, because you can only get what Frank said, which was absolutely right, what's on the table. You can only eat what's in front of you, right? If there's only £60 million on the table, that's what it is.
Yeah.
And then you've got the second principle, which I believe is in play, which is, I'm the guy that's filling the stadium. Without Tyson Fury, without the UK audience, and without my ability to put 94,000 fans inside an audience, you aren't going to get the remuneration out of this fight because I'm the A side, so we come on a principle. But Tyson Fury is the best heavyweight around. I believe Tyson Fury would beat Usyk. So I'm not entirely sure why the clever strategy that they're playing here, which is we'll take 60-40, we'll be the B side if we lose, but we'll be the A side if we win, and we'll take the A side money. Surely that is a reasonable scenario. And given the fact that Tyson has repeatedly said he's not doing this for money, which is a ridiculous proposition because he is doing it for money. He hasn't even paid the £1 million bet that he's supposed to pay Piers Morgan when he said he was going to come back and if he didn't come back, he'd pay £1 million. So as much as I admire Tyson Fury, and I'm a huge advocate for him because I think he's been an absolute godsend to the heavyweight division in lots of ways, I'm not enamoured with some of the things he doesn't say. So,
I think he's right. The 60-40 should be Tyson's. He draws the crowd. Irrelevant of how the fight finishes, he should be getting the 60%.
On what basis? If you win?
Because the people watching at home and the people in the crowd are the reason they're getting the money, not because of the outcome of the fight.
Yeah, Danny Usyk's got a big following as
He
well.
has, but not as big as Fury.
Let's be clear. The pay-per-views around the world will be based upon two great champions going into a ring.
But one more than the other.
Well, in this country, you're going to get 94,000 fans coming into this fight because we've seen it. They went to the pup of the fight that we got to see in April last year with Dillian White. Right? Now you've got a bona fide world champion that's beaten everyone's sort of perceived favourite, Anthony Joshua, in this country at times, gone and done what needed to have been done, and he is a undisputed double weight world title holder. Gone into the ring, he is entitled to a
decent... Doesn't make sense what you're saying. If we're on this show and you're getting paid what you get paid and I get paid what I get paid, you bring more listeners than me. If my content's better than yours on the day, I don't get your fee, do I?
Hold on. That's
exactly the same.
Hold on. That's not what I said. I didn't say my content on the day. I said what you're bringing to the ring as a matter of course. You've got somebody. You can't have
a one-off event.
You can't have an undisputed fight without two fighters that are holding the belt. So he comes into the ring with an equal standing.
He doesn't though. That's where you're wrong. The equal standing comes on people's bums on seats. You just said that about filling Wembley Stadium or the pay-per-view.
Let me finish the point then. 94,000 fans at Wembley. Right? What's that going to bring? 15 million quid. Right. So let's have a look at that then. 15 million quid.
So he should get 60% of that.
So he can have 60% of the gate receipts, and they can have a 60-40 split on the winner on the basis of pay-per-view. Yeah. You can cut this how you want. Right, but if you want to make it about the fact of being in England because they can't sell this fight in Ukraine, right, for obvious reasons, so you put it into England because that's the logical place to put it, you carve it up a different way. Tyson is singing one song and doing another. You
mean the contradiction of I'm not doing this for money, I'll beat him anyway, and then saying I want...
Well, if you're going to get 60-40, then if you're going into that fight and you believe you're going to win, you believe you are what you say you are,
just say yes.
You grab it.
You take it.
You take it. And that's what Krassyuk's saying there. He's saying, look, this is the situation. 60-40, the winner taking 60. Now, as you rightly say, Simon, Tyson is so full of confidence in his own ability. He's such a self-confident fighter. You would think he'd be, I'll go with that because I'll win and I'll take the 60.
But he's not stupid. He knows that it could go the other way. I mean,
and he'll be the first person to say that. And we're not the ones stepping in the ring. We're not the ones getting a punch in the face. But we're also not the ones getting paid £30 million a fight. We're also not the ones that make a hullabaloo about how good we are and what we're going to do in this division and how we're going to retire and who we're going to beat. And it's come to the point now where boxing is a fascinating, intriguing sport. But either these fights are going to happen, and if you get an opportunity for the holy grail, the supposed holy grail of heavyweight boxing for a fight for the undisputed, you're going to make it about a principle rather because you're both going to walk out with 20 million
can I just clarify because I don't know the answer to this? Is where the fight's going to be at the stumbling block? Because once that's settled, no. Because if
they want it in the Middle East.
Say it was in the Middle East, they got more money, then he might be more prepared to say 60-40.
Well, Usyk would say that then, because ultimately he would turn around and say, "Oh, okay, fine, I'll accept a smaller part of this position because it's a bigger part of the pie." Right? Yeah. Now, the thing that's queered the pitch is this ridiculous polluting of the water for Middle Eastern money that gives everybody this impression that they should be 500 million quid or 120 million quid or whatever it is. Now you're back into the realms of what you consider to be reasonable levels, and Wembley Stadium will house 94,000 people, and it is also about the dynamic of how much value Tyson has. But if you want to get this fight on and you want to have an undisputed fight, then the way that they're going about it, to my mind, doesn't make the fight
happen.
So
what did Frank say yesterday then in terms of clarifying this?
Well, the reaction actually is swift to what Krassyuk is saying there. Do you believe Krassyuk there, Simon, incidentally?
I'm inclined to believe him. I don't think we can land the Joshua situation on Tyson Fury. I do think Tyson Fury wanted that fight. I do think Tyson Fury wanted it at a time that actually suited him. I do think Eddie Hearn played smoke and mirrors because they knew it was the wrong fight for Anthony Joshua to take at this time in his career, because he was coming off the back of 2 substantial losses.
Yeah. See, a lot of people reacting to Krassyuk there. There's one message coming in from a fight fan. Hearing that there regards Usyk and Fury does make me question whether or not Fury was dodging AJ all along. So many messages coming in.
I don't agree with that.
Sorry, Jim. This all points to Fury ducking the fight, and I'm one of his biggest fans in saying that. There's another message. So what we can take from the Warren and Usyk camp is that this fight will not take place. They'll probably have a warm-up fight, which won't be all that great until the Middle Eastern money is stumped up.
And that's what I've always felt. The challenge for that one is that they've got the Middle Eastern money come off the table. They can't get it back on the table to September. You've now got Ramadan, you've got Eid. One of these fighters has got to get out sooner rather than later. Tyson has fought in December. Usyk hasn't fought since September. If he doesn't fight till September again, then all of a sudden he's had a year out of the ring. You're not possibly getting the best version of him. So he's got to fight Usyk.
You'll probably hear segments of the Krassyuk interview throughout the day, the rest of the morning and the day on talkSPORT. For the first time, we've really heard from inside the Usyk camp, and they seem to have put more meat in the bones as to this entire issue. Is it going to happen? It remains to be seen. If it's not agreed by the end of this week, it could well not happen. Alex Krassyuk speaking to us earlier, Alexander Usyk's promoter.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.